Hello everyone, today we're going to discuss chapter 5 for the organizational behavior class. This is using McGraw-Hill books called Canadian Organizational Behavior by McGraw-Hill. Okay, let's look at the starting of the points first of this chapter. The learning objective here is basically define what the employee motivation is, engagement, explain how drive the emotions here and influence employee motivations. And then three, discuss the employee motivation implication in four drive theories. Number four, discuss the expression theories. Number five, outline the organizational behavior modifications and the social cognitive theory. Explain their relevance to employee motivations. Number six, describe the characteristics of effective goal. And then number seven, explain how equity theory. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Employee motivation, employee through coaching, is to improve employee motivation. Many Canadian organizations have replaced their traditional formal performance appraisal system with more frequent forward-looking coaching and development conversations. Okay, what is the implementation motivation? Is the forces within a person that affect the direction in terms of intensity, persistence of effort, or voluntary behavior. Employee engagement is employee emotional and cognitive motivation, particular focus and intense persistence, and purposely effort toward work-related goals. Okay, and then what is the employee drives here? Hardware brain activity that correct deficiency. There's an innate universal. There's a produce and then there's has to take action such a prime mover behavior. Example here, self-concept, social norm, and past experience. There's a driven and emotions and going to the needs and going to all the way decision and behavior. Okay, and then goals are directed forces that people experiences. We channel the emotion towards specific goals, and goals performed by self-concept and social norm and experience. Individuals have differences in terms of need, amplify the suppressed emotions. So drive in emotion, self-concept, self-norm, and past experience. Drive the emotions here, going to the needs, and go to the decision and behavior. What is the four drive theory? Four drive theory means drive to acquire. Seek and acquire, control, retain objects and experiences, drive to bonds, form social relationship, and develop mutual caring commitment with others, drive to comprehend, satisfies our curiosity, know and understand ourselves and the environment, and drive to defend, which is to protect ourselves physically and socially. So here is the four one. Go all the way to mental, set skill, competing drive demands, all the way to goal, direct choice and effort. Social norm, influenced by personal value, influenced by past experience. So based on the influence all of this, go into the mental skill, set resolve, competing drive demands. How the four drives motivate. Drives determine which emotion to take incoming sensory informations. Emotion becomes consciousness experience when sufficiently strong and conflict with each other. Mental skill set relies on social norm and personal values. Explain to transfer the drive-based emotion into goal-directed choice and effort. The best workplace to help employees fulfill all the four drives and keep the fulfillment of the four drives much in balance. There's a Maslow hierarchy of needs here. They're from psychological at the base, go to the safety, to belongingness, esteem on the self, actualization. There's a need to know as well as the need to be. The seven categories five in hierarchy represent most need. Okay, the lowest unmet need is the strongest until satisfied. Then the next higher need become the top motivators. Model lacks empirical support. The main problem is people have different needs of hierarchy, but they are not universal. Master contribution to motivation is holistic perspective. It recommends studying multiple together in terms of human's perspective, recognize the social dynamic, not just instinct influence motivations. In terms of positive as perspective, emphasize the importance of self-actualization. And then in terms of motivation, it means that fulfilling the needs for competence and autonomy by engaging in activities itself, rather than from a formal external control of that activities. Intrinsic motivation, how it occurs when the people want to engage in an activity for instrument reason and receive something that is beyond their personal control. It external motivation may undermine the intrinsic motivation but usually have manifold and no effect. Look at the next slide here. What is need to be learned, shaped, and amplified surprise through the self-concept, social norm, and past experience. Training can change a person's need in terms of strength to reinforcement and alternating their self-concept. The three learned needs are listed in research: a need for achievement, such as to accomplish goal, clear feedback, moderate task, achievement. Let's say you want to set up, become a doctor or become a professor. That is your need for achievement, or to get an A in this class, for example. Need for affiliation, seek approval from others, come from others, ways to avoid conflict. Excuse me. The need for power, seek power for social and personal purposes. The expectancy motivation here, E to P, expectancy, which is the probability that will specifically afford level will result in specific performance level. Here go. Fourth here, go to performance, outcome 1, outcome 2, outcome 3. There's always 3 possibility of outcome. P2 expectancy that influence the performance will be probably that a specific performance will result in specific outcome. Balance the anticipation satisfaction from the outcome. So there's a possible outcome. For example, you are running for the 100 marathon. You can be number 1, number 2, maybe number 3 in the running category there. Expression theory in practice means that increasing E to P expectancy, it may such as hiring and train staff, and a job duties to skills, provide sufficient time and resources, provide coaching and modeling. Okay, interesting. Increasing P to O expectancy means measure performance accurately, explain how rewards are linked to performance, provide example of coworkers reward to performance, and increasing outcome balance to ensure that rewards are value, individualized reward, minimize current outcomes. Okay, these are the ABC behavior modification, which is antecedents, behavior, and consequences. ABC. What happens before behavior, what a person says or does in terms of behavior, and consequences, what happens after behavior. For example, here, phone make a distinctive sound, okay, and then you're gonna check your phone and new messages. Example, new message has useful information or not. Those are an example. ABC behavior modification. For OB mod consequences, there's positive reinforcement. When reinforcement is introduced, behavior increases or is maintained. Punishment, when introduced, behavior decreases. Extensions mean when no consequences, behavior decreases. Negative reinforcement, when consequences remove, behavior increases. Learning behavior in terms of social cognitive theory, learning behavior consequences, observe others and consequences, anticipate consequences in other situations. In terms of behavior modeling, observe, model others. In terms of self-regulation, there's intentionally purpose action, set your goal and standard, and anticipate your consequences as well self-reinforcement. What are the things that create effective goal setting feature? We call it smarter. Smarter. What is smarter? Specific. What, how, where, when, with whom the tasks need to be accomplished. Measurable. How much, how well it would cost. Achievable, changing yet expected if to be. Relevant within employee's control. T, time frame, due date, and when success. E is exciting, employee commitment, not just compliance. R, review, your feedback, recognition on goal progress, and accomplishment. Practice of the feedback will be either effective feedback will be either specific, refers to identifying behavior outcomes, relevance with behavior outcome within employee control, timely as soon as possible, that's the key part, credible, it must be trustworthy in terms of source knowledge and unbiased, sufficient frequent, more often, the learners otherwise according to the task cycle. Okay. Strength-based coaching, maximize improvement by focusing on strength rather than weaknesses. Strength-based coaching process employed in this area of Strength and potential. Coach help employee discover how to leverage their strength. Discussion on student behavior and solutions. Okay. Strength-based coaching motivate because people seek feedback in terms of their strength and not flaws. Personality interests as well as preference stabilization as an adult. In terms of the source of feedback, there is no non-social sources such as feedback not conveyed directly to employee, example, electronic display, or the social sources, the feedback direct from others, multi-source feedback, full circle of people around the employee. And then preferred feedback sources, use non-social feedback for goal progress feedback, as well as use social source for conveying positive feedback. Again, example here, pay inequity at Canada Post. Until recently, Canada Post paid to a suburban RCMC mail carrier different from urban carriers. An arbitrator concluded that this breach Christian justice rule. The two groups perform the same work, yet the RCMC significantly less pay. So what happens there? Perception of appropriate formal and formal rules have been applied to situation. There's a distributive justice, procedural justice, or interactional justice. Okay, so in this particular case, in terms of equity theory, there is your outcome or input ratio. From your outcome, in terms of pay, recognition, learning, promotion, workspace, and this job. That is your outcome. In terms of your input, there will be skill, effort, performance, reputation, hours, and experiences. And your comparison other in terms of output is the same story and other inputs. So you're going to compare between one in rural and one is in the urban side. Compare the ratio, another in the perception of equity and equity. Good example also in a man and woman. Okay, corrections, equity. Inequity tension can reduce our input, increase our outcomes, increase other inputs as well, reduce other outputs, change our perceptions, change comparison, and leave the field. That's the thing in terms of correcting inequity tensions. So, procedural justice rule, decision makers have no interest in self-interest, electric doctrine. Decision consider full complement in terms of accurate information, in terms of all group affected by the outcome, and then decision and procedures are compared with each other employee. Decision criteria and procedures are applied consistently. Employee can prevent, have the opportunity to present their evidence, okay, and opinions to decision makers of voice, and a questionable decision and procedure can be appealed and overturned. So perception is that appropriate rules are applied in the way that people involved are treated throughout the decision process. Interactive justice rule that employees are treated in polite manners, employees are treated in respect, and employee receive true and well justified explanation about the decisions, and employee must receive honest, candid, and timely information about the decision. So we're gonna go back again, make sure you understand this one, okay? This is the perception, procedural justice rules, and the next one is the interactional justice rule. Okay, so this basically concludes these chapters. Hope we're gonna discuss the following chapters in the next video. Thank you everyone for joining me. Bye bye.